Our viewers of Entrepreneurship TV across the world, welcome to today's show. In today's show, we've invited Fitzgerald Mujuru. He is a seasoned marketer. He is an author, a business coach as well. Today, we are going to talk to him about the marketing and advertising function. But before we do that, he's going to talk to us in terms of how he started his authorship. Fitzgerald Mujuru, welcome to the program.
Thank you for inviting me, Mr. Kemba.
Fitzgerald Mujuru, we are going to talk to you about marketing and advertising because we want our entrepreneurs and business people across the world to benefit from your expertise and your experience. But before we can talk about that, may you briefly tell us about your authorship? When did you start and how many books have you written so far?
I believe I've been writing for a long time. I started off by writing articles and blogging as early as 2010. So I can say for the last 10 years, I've been writing, and I've been published mostly online, writing articles and stuff like that. So far I've written 3 books. I've written Winning Ways, which is a book for leaders and business people. And I've written Power Thought for Today, Success Motivation for anyone that really wants to just get motivated. And I've also written This Christian Life, which is a book that can be used as a discipleship tool and for anyone who wants to develop in their Christianity.
Fitzgerald Mujuru, I know a lot of entrepreneurs and business people are waiting to hear from you in terms of marketing and advertising, but let me probe you further. What is it that comes to your mind when you are writing books?
When I'm writing books, I actually don't write anything when I'm not inspired. So it's inspiration. I can see something that will inspire me, or I can remember certain things that happened in life, or there's a lesson that I've learned the hard way, which I want to communicate to somebody. Sometimes it's advice, sometimes it's stories. So you find in one book a combination of all those things. So it's to do with the level of inspiration that I'm at any particular point in time.
Now, Fitz, let's get on subject matter. Why we have called you in, it's because we've discovered that a lot of entrepreneurs and business people, they continue doing marketing on their own and thinking it's something that is easy to do. From your own experience and understanding, how critical is marketing within an organization?
I think marketing is so important to the business to the extent that without marketing, there's no business. So marketing is the business. I would like to think of somebody who is farming on a farm. They can be a very good farmer and they can have the best produce. But if they don't take it to the market, there's no business. So that's how critical marketing is to a business. And so it's about providing what people want, finding out what they want and giving them what they want, not what they need. Because I know what I need, but I also know what I want. And I'm willing to pay the right price for what I really want. So marketing is about giving people what they want. So businesses exist to solve people's problems, but unless you go to the market, you can't solve any problem.
Fitzgerald, my next question focuses on entrepreneurs and business people. People think that every business person is a marketer. Is that true?
For a long time, sales and marketing, I put it in their sales because most people, they lump it together and I believe they're related. For a long time, sales and marketing were not considered to be professions. Parents would not advise their child that when you grow up, I want you to become a salesman or to become a marketer. They would be told to become doctors, teachers, engineers. So for a long time, there's been a perception that marketing is something that anybody can do. But I believe that it takes a certain skill set to be able to be a good marketer. And it's not just a job that anybody can do because there are some people who cannot do it. That's why there's a need for marketing professionals.
My last question within this first segment, Gerald, is going to focus on the entrepreneurs. Could it be possible that entrepreneurs can focus on running their businesses whilst they are subcontracting and engaging marketing experts outside their organizations?
It is possible, but you find that most of the time, the reason why a lot of entrepreneurs are not willing to engage experts, as it were, is because when you start off a business, you are a one-man shop, you are doing everything, you are the HR person, so basically you try and take in as much as you can. And it's only when they must market that they engage in marketing. And that is not a very good time to market, because you are now desperate and you're panicking and you're not thinking strategically. You are engaging tactics instead of strategy.
Fitzgerald Mujuru, thank you very much for engaging with us in this first segment. Please stay with us. We're just going to go for a very short break. When we come back, we are going to ask you a lot more in terms of marketing for the benefit of our entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much.
Fitzgerald Mujuru, welcome back to the second segment of today's show, where we're talking to you to share with our entrepreneurs to benefit from your experience as well as a seasoned marketer. Now, I want to ask you a very critical question that a lot of entrepreneurs tend to struggle with. Is there a difference between marketing and advertising?
Certainly, there's a difference between advertising and marketing, but most people use these terms, marketing and advertising, interchangeably. So they seem to mean the main thing, yet they don't. Because advertising is the vehicle with which we share our marketing message. So advertising is simply a promotional vehicle. It's one of the vehicles. One of them, the other one is personal selling. The other one is public relations, and there's publicity. So there's a whole lot of things that you can do to get your message across. Advertising is one of them. Whilst marketing, like I said earlier, is about finding out what people want and giving it to them. So it's not about selling only. So marketing is composed of many different facets. Traditional marketing will teach you that there are 4 P's. There's product, there's price, there's place, there's promotion. And advertising falls under the promotional aspect of marketing.
Thank you very much for that, Fitz. Now, I want to take you back from what you have illustrated earlier on. I know for a number of entrepreneurs and business people, their main worry is the cost that is involved with bringing in a different person to help them with marketing. From your own understanding, how best can entrepreneurs cut on startup costs and still engage the marketing consultants, guys?
I believe that marketing is very important for the success of the business. However, one does not need to break the bank to market. Especially nowadays, there's a lot of avenues that are open to marketers. You can engage somebody who won't cost you an arm and a leg to do your digital marketing, for example. There's a lot of things that are happening online. The pandemic has taught us that you can virtually do everything on your computer if you've got some data. So building email lists, using Facebook ads, using Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and all those things. So the entrepreneur himself might not know how to do these things, but there are ways to self-teach. I studied marketing 15 years ago, and the type of marketing that I studied is mostly not relevant. The concepts are, but the application is now through digital platforms. So I've had to go back and self-teach. I've just finished an online course that I did on digital marketing. So there's nothing that stops the entrepreneur from teaching himself and also having a resource in his existing organization who's got potential that can learn these things. So universities, you've got courses online, there are courses that you can pay for, there are courses for free, there's YouTube. So there's a lot of information out there. So it's taking the initiative to self-teach if you don't have the budget. But I suggest, if you can afford it, that there's a cost to doing business. If you can engage a professional, the better. But that doesn't stop you from having a working knowledge of these things.
Fitzgerald Mujuru, thank you very much. The moment we start talking about some of these interesting things, time tends to run out of us. We're just going to go again for a very short break. When we come back, we're going to probe you further in terms of how you can assist some of these SMEs and a lot of entrepreneurs to benefit from your expertise as a marketer. Fitzgerald Mujuru, welcome back. We're talking to you in terms of the marketing function, how entrepreneurs and various business people can benefit from your expertise. Now, I would want to find out from you. You have worked with a lot of SMEs. You have worked with a lot of business people. Why do we end up having a lot of entrepreneurs treating this function as a subordinate function instead of it being a critical function within an organization?
I think sometimes it's a lack of understanding. It's really a function of a lack of understanding. Everything rises and falls on marketing. You can have amazing products and processes with no customers because your marketing plan is what takes your product to the market. As I mentioned earlier, if you don't know marketing, hire someone to help you. If you already have marketers, listen to them, make use of their expertise. Make sure that they're continually refreshing their knowledge. And also, for the modern business person, you cannot afford to be a specialist. You know what? We all have something that we are good at. But unless people know about it, it is not going to give us any value. So the sooner we get the understanding that we're all marketing people, at the risk of contradicting myself, because earlier I said it's not everyone's a marketer. We must all know how marketing works, and then engage the experts and brief them on what they need to do based on the understanding that you have of what your business needs to do. Because you cannot bring someone in and you don't know what you want them to do. They will not do a good job. How will you measure that they've been effective?
Fitzgerald, thanks very much for that. Now, my next question then would want to focus on the prevailing challenges that we are faced with. COVID-19 pandemic has brought in a lot of challenges to a lot of business people. From your experience as a marketer, what is it that companies, entrepreneurs, and even small businesses can do to utilize the pandemic time?
I believe it's a good opportunity to look at what you're doing and reframe your business. Look at your strategy. You've got lots of time on your hands, so it's a time to see what other opportunities you can explore apart from the traditional business that you've been doing all along. Because as an entrepreneur, you are there to make money. So it's not about what you like, but it's about what customers want. Medical products are in demand. So it's one of the avenues you can look at. And there are some things that were luxury. They were nice to have, but now they've taken center stage. There are new selling channels, e-commerce, online shop that emerged. For example, you find Alibaba and Takealot and all these things. Supermarkets, they've gone online. So maybe it's time to take your business where the people are. The people are on social media. The people are on YouTube. The people are on WhatsApp. So there's all these things that are available to us that we can use. I mentioned earlier that digital marketing, a low-cost alternative to traditional marketing, easy to measure. It's fast replacing traditional media. So it's time to explore how big is the email list. Maybe it's time to grow your database. I remember when I was working with one of the big corporates that I worked for, I was given a new task to do database marketing, and I didn't know what it was, but I went out and found out information. So there's a lot of information out there. Education, our children are not going to school. So there's going to be need for online learning. There's going to be need for e-learning. So that's an opportunity. Software companies that help people communicate, such as the one we are using. There's Skype, there's Zoom, virtual offices are now available. And also when people buy things online, they need to be delivered. So there's an opportunity to start delivering services. And agriculture, people still need to eat. So there's a lot of things that you can do. If you think of marketing as just a discipline that you do, you've got it mistaken. Marketing is the business. How can I get something else that I can market using the current resources and process that I already have, and that can add value to your business?
Fitzgerald Mujuru, I'm very grateful. Now, my last question, this program is meant to provide advice to people who are running businesses, and we need to be very honest and give them feedback. From your experience, you have been practicing marketing for the past more than 20 years. You have done it practically, you have done it professionally. What are some of the malpractices, certain things that entrepreneurs tend not to do, which you want to share with us today that can improve and help them to scale up their businesses?
One of the things is there's a knowledge deficit. I think entrepreneurs need training. When I've conducted training for SMEs, some of them will send their sales staff and their marketing staff, and they don't attend. So the marketing thinking doesn't run through the organization. That is a mistake. And the other mistake is going into a business to sell products that you like and products that you think people like. You know, businesses exist to make people's lives better. But how can we make people's lives better if we don't know how they want their lives to be bettered? So it's time to have conversations with people that you're trying to sell to, so that you get to know what they want. The other thing that entrepreneurs do is that a lot of them, like you said, by the time they decide, now let me do marketing, it might be late, because there's pressure to move sales. There's pressure to move stock. But look at the big companies, Coca-Cola, Apple, and all these big corporates. They market when they don't need to. So because they market when they don't need to, they can concentrate on their strategy. They are not reacting. They are proactive. So there's a need to be proactive when it comes to marketing. It's not a luxury. It is the business. So a lot of the time during a crisis, we forget to market. So if we forget to market during a crisis, we are forgotten. We must constantly be in front of people all the time so that they don't forget about you. Imagine a relationship, you're dating someone. If you're not constantly in front of this person, someone is going to take them away. And that is, the customer is not your customer. Everyone wants that customer that you have. So the more we market, the better. Marketing is a philosophy. It's not just something that we do here and there. It's something that we do daily. We market when we need to. We market when we don't need to.
To our international viewers for Entrepreneurship TV, Fitzgerald Mujuru will be appearing on this show weekly. We will be agreeing with him in terms of what subject matter to do with marketing we'll be discussing in a particular week. For those that may also want to get in touch with him, as we have been talking, his contact details have been running as a banner underneath our program. Fitzgerald Mujuru, we thank you very much for affording us this first opportunity to talk to you. We're looking forward to talk to you again next week, when we try and encourage, motivate, and make entrepreneurs realize that there is need for them to employ this very function of marketing. Once again, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kimbo.
Thanks. To our viewers across the globe, may you remember to subscribe. May you also remember to always watch out for these programs that we try and bring to you to make sure that as entrepreneurs, you run your business successfully. So continue to subscribe and watch out for our next and future shows.